Hello, my bookish besties, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrian. I like to read a little bit, but yeah, quite a lot of bit. So today I thought it would be nice to discuss some books that are on my radar. I'm actively trying to do a TBR takedown challenge. My TBR is looking a little bit crazy. If you haven't seen, let's go look. This is the current situation. But I figured as part of my TBR Takedown challenge, we could discuss the 10 books that are my 5-star predictions, kind of the, top of the priority list, if you will. These are books that I think I'm going to love, which means I could either put them off for a long time because I'm one of those people, or I could read them literally tomorrow and we can make some, freaking space on that TBR cart because, yeah, she is looking a little crazy, and I will be the first to admit that. But anywho, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss the 10 books that are kind of on my 5-star prediction radar. The first book is The Secret History. This is by Donna Tartt. This book is basically about, from what I understand, it is about a group of college students who is solving the murder of one of their friends. It just says, under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum experience of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, they slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal, and at last, inexplicably, into evil. It just sounds so good. I've seen so many quotes and such from this book that I fear if I do end up liking it, it is going to be one of those books that becomes my whole personality, okay? There's this tattoo, I'll insert a picture, on Pinterest that is from a quote from this book, and it says, "I am nothing if not obsessed," or something like that. What? Also, I love the font in this. I love that it's kind of the serif kind of font that looks a little bit like a typewriter. I think that fits perfectly. Also, if you didn't know, I literally have a quote technically from the book. One of my all-time favorite books is If We Were Villains, and I've heard these stories comped quite a lot, except one's Shakespearean, the other one is just kind of New England college spooky. So I'm really excited to give this a shot. I really hope I do love it. The next book on my 5-star prediction list is So Old, So Young. This is by Grant Ginder, maybe? I don't know. But this is basically about a group of friends as they, it sounds like they are going through these different stages of life and discovering what it means to stay a friend. And these are the kind of fiction stories that typically stick with me. So I have really high hopes and expectations for this one. It says, for Marco and Mia, Sasha and Theo, Richie and Adam, the one constant in their life after college together has been change. New jobs, new cities, new spouses, new children. Through it all, one thing they thought would always stay the same is their friendship. But time has a way of breaking even the strongest bonds and testing what we thought we knew. So I think this is going to be one of those books that is very relevant in this current stage of life I'm living. I am, about 4 or 5 years out of college now. And I think that kind of new adult, just becoming an adult after high school and college is so weird. There are just so many complexities to living on your own, getting married, friendships, having a job, etc., that I think this book could potentially explore in a way that fundamentally changes me as a person, and I am ready for the trauma. Maybe. Next on my radar is Daggermouth. This is by H.M. Wolf, which, fun fact, I actually met her a couple months ago, so I do have these signed little book plates. Yeah, I have some signed things from her, and I am debating if I want to put these in here, but this book, from what I understand, is basically a new dystopian kind of romantasy-esque. Basically, our main character, I think she is some sort of hunter. It says the first thing you'll learn in Newfound Haven is mercy no longer exists. Showing mercy is a weakness, and weaknesses will get you killed. The second thing is this: the Veyra are always watching. From the highest glass atrium in the heart to the windowless slum dens of the boundary. No movement goes unseen. The last lesson is the hardest, but you must remember it. Love outside your ring is a death sentence. So I have a feeling that our main character is going to fall in love with someone who's not in her same ring. That feels like foreshadowing. It says the city is carved into rings of privilege and poverty, ruled by the masked elite who will do whatever it takes to hold on to power. Obedience is demanded, rebellion is crushed. Oh! I guess I didn't read the back of this book when I bought it. I just saw the hype and was like, you know what, add to cart. It says, Shadira, I hope I said that right, is a mercenary raised to kill, not to wed. Yet when her bullet misses its mark, survival leaves her bound to the very man she was sent to eliminate. Trapped inside the corrupt heart of the city, she becomes both prisoner and wife, her every step watched, her every move tested. Their union is no love story, it's a battlefield. As secrets come to light and betrayals fester within the walls of power, Grayson and Shadira must decide between annihilating one another or burning the city to the ground together. This sounds really good. I have seen so many people love this, and I am super proud of her. I, like I mentioned, met her last year when she was still, you know, kind of an indie published author. This is the indie copy, by the way. And I think it's so cool when people blow up like this. I saw Smitty and some other people read this, and I am really excited to give it a shot myself. I wish I had picked this up already, because I am so excited. I have it on my Kindle. I have this paperback here, and we are going to freaking devour this thing. I'm calling it now. Next we have Katabasis. This is by R.F. Kuang. This is one of those books that, like, I'm either going to rate it a fat 5 stars or like a 2-star, and I feel like there's no in between. Because this is one of those books that is so divisive on the internet. I feel like people are either, you know, gnawing at the bars for more, or they're like, wow, give me back my time. What just happened? And I'm really hoping that I'm in the gnawing at the bars group, because I recently read another book called Flicker State. It actually comes out like pretty soon. It is by F.A. Davidson. And Flicker State was described as basically katabasis for young adults. And I have been thinking about Flicker State pretty much every day since I read it, okay? Which makes me think that this one is going to be kind of in the same realm. Also, I love dark academia. I'm really interested in kind of the dynamics of hell, which, if you didn't know, this book is basically about this girl and her, like, arch nemesis, like her academic rival. Their professor, like mentor man, dies and is sent to hell. So they're like, sir, we are not finished with you yet. We still have some stuff to learn. So they, like, literally send themselves to the trenches of hell to go get him back. That's crazy. And I am ecstatic. My husband recently has been really into watching these, like, YouTube videos about the 7 layers of hell or whatever. So I feel like I'm pretty in the know, I think, about the things I need to know. I will say, I think the reason a lot of people don't like this one is, for a while, there was discourse saying to fully enjoy this book, you have to read like 18 other freaking books. I will not be doing that. I think that I am smart enough to just go into this. And if I'm not, well then maybe it will be a 2-star. I plan to read this pretty soon in an upcoming reading vlog though, so we will figure out together whether or not this is a 5 stars. I'm feeling good though. Because, okay, here's another thing. Or I guess I should say one of my favorite books is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which I feel like the vibes could be vibing. They could be vibing. But anywho, we'll figure out soon if I like this one or not. Okay, next we have The Night Prince. This is by Lauren Palfreyman. I do not know, Lauren, if by chance you are watching this video. I apologize, girl, I cannot say your last name. But anywho, this is the sequel to The Wolf King. I read The Wolf King back in like March maybe, and it was ecstatic, giggly, kicking my feet 5 stars. So in my mind, there is absolutely no way that this book won't also be 5 stars. I have a strong feeling that it is just going to take our love triangle and just just freaking feel it. If you have not heard of the Wolf King, basically this girl gets kind of kidnapped by these werewolf creatures. Are they even werewolves? They like full shift into real wolves, I believe, but they're like werewolves in the sense that they're humans, but they're not humans. Anywho, she gets kidnapped by the wolf gang, I guess, because she saves one of the wolves. And then something happens to where, like, her betrothed, her husband, man, they think that he has the key to solving when they can shift. Like, right now, they can only shift on the full moon. They want to shift whenever. They think that her husband, man, has the key to that. So they're like, yo, girl, come with us. You're going to be a bartering chip. And she's like, okay. And, yeah, that's pretty much the general vibes. But it is so good. It's like Scottish. And it is just so good. Yeah. And just, yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I think, Alex, is that even his name? Where did I get Alex from? It's Blake. I think that Blake is going to play a major role in this book. He gives Damon, okay? If you know anything about the Vampire Diaries, which I don't know why every single character on my channel somehow comes back to Damon, but if you know anything about the Vampire Diaries, Blake is giving Damon Salvatore, and the other guy, Callum, he gives Stefan. So do with that information what you will. Okay, next we have Direbound. I am like, again, I'm chomping at the freaking bars to read this book. I have been waiting patiently for the day to happen, and I think that day might be soon. In fact, I anticipate liking this so much that I went and bought a signed special edition. I mean, it's kind of special. It's like the new printing they just did, because like they had the kind of floppy indie paperbacks, and then they re-released this one, and then book 2 matches this one. But anywho, all I'm trying to say is I have such high hopes that I'm gonna like it. I splurged on a signed edition on Pango recently. Used all of my friggin' money on the app. But like, look at it. It's gonna be so good. I have heard this book. I've heard this book described as Fourth Wing, but make it dire wolves. And then I've heard book 2 somehow is even better. Also, look at these cutie stickers that came in my Pango package. I don't know who these creatures are yet, but I'm ecstatic to find out. But anywho, Fourth Wing, but make it wolves? Are you kidding me? I have seen some people, though, say that it's like too much like Fourth Wing, to the point that like they don't enjoy it because they just kind of, you know. But I think I will love it. Because if there's one thing about me, it is I am a Fourth Wing stan. And the reason I like Fourth Wing is the vibes. So I feel like if this book can capture kind of those vibes, it's gonna be my perfect book. I'm just so excited. This is one of those books that I can't really tell you much else, though, other than Fourth Wing, but wolves, because I want to go into this as blind as possible. I watch Emmy Rossum and Lauren read this in one of their vlogs, and they said that the blurb on the back contained like a pretty big spoiler, if I remember correctly. So I've been avoiding the premise like a plague. But anywho, I'm so excited. Also, this cover, it's giving Game of Thrones. What's his name? Jon Snow. Jon Snow. Next, we have another anticipated release of mine. Okay, this is Broken Dove. The only reason I haven't even started this yet is I'm trying desperately to finish the like 17,000 gazillion books that I'm like actively reading before I pick this up. But let me tell you, I'm so excited. And I know I've said that about like literally all of the books on this list, because like that's kind of the point of this list, is books I'm excited to read. But this one, this is probably my most anticipated release of the whole freaking year, okay? Which also means it could, once again, not be 5 stars. Like, this has the potential to either be the best sequel of all time, or it is going to absolutely fail. Which I will say, I have been reading some reviews. This book just came out like 2-ish weeks ago, maybe less. And I have been reading some of the early reviews. And a lot of people say it's kind of boring. But as a 1,500-page Brandon Sanderson book girly, I fear I love a boring plot. Because usually what happens is it's boring for a reason. Like, our girl's got some stuff to learn, okay? Some stuff happened at the end of the first book that she needs to unpack. And y'all would also criticize that if she just, like, didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, I have really good high hopes for this one. I think it is going to be very slow, but in a good way. At least that's what I'm hoping. I have heard that kind of a love triangle developed a little bit, which, like, personally, I love a love triangle, so I'm not mad about it. But if you somehow have not heard about Silver Elite, basically, our main character is a magic wielder, and when you use magic in this world, your veins light up silver. Crazy, right? Except for some reason, hers don't light up silver. So, she has these hidden powers that really nobody knows about, and she makes this, like, incredible, life-changing shot. Like, pew! Like, using a sniper scope, seeing the lay of the land. She makes an incredible shot that should be, like, near impossible to make, right? And because of that, her uncle gets kidnapped and he dies, right? And then after that, they recruit her to the government, the Silver Elite. They're not called the Silver Elite yet. The Silver Elite is like a subgroup within this government that she's, like, actively trying to join. But basically, she joins this government that is actively hunting the magic wielders. But, like, she's a magic wielder. It is so good. It is literally like a spy magic movie in a book. And I loved it. So I'm really hoping this one gives similar vibes, and I love it too. Okay, next we have Heavenly Bodies. This is by Imani Iru. Again, this is just one of those books that I feel like literally everybody but me has read and everybody has loved. This is basically about, from what I understand, there is a kingdom. Yeah, actually, it says it blends Greek mythology and shadow magic with a tantalizing enemies to lovers romance that will rewrite the stars. That sounds good enough to me. Basically, from what I understand, which, like I said, is pretty much nothing, this is about a girl who, I think there is a kingdom that is ruled by the, like, astrological gods, like Aries, Taurus. Does that sound right? Stuff like that. Okay, here we go. Yep, okay. It says, in a world ruled by the cruel and merciless stars, Alara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises that she will fall for a star, but that it will kill them both. I don't know. It's just giving stars and astrology and fated lovers and all those kind of vibes, like the vibes that I feel like the girly pops are craving nowadays. And even reading the back, I can't really figure out what it's about, but I know that people like it, and I anticipate liking it myself. I mean, what else do you want from me? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Also, is this just, like, not one of the coolest covers you've ever seen in your life? I will say, the only reason I haven't started this yet is this book has fallen victim to it got published, right? And then it became popular. So now the newest books are releasing in hardcover. But I just want to read it in paperback. Which, like, I do enjoy a hardcover, okay? But I already own the paperback. I don't want to go buy the hardcover so that I can read them up to date. Does that make sense? Why can't we just release them all at once? Or, like, you know, shorten the gap a little bit. It's been like 2 years. Where is Fallen Stars in paperback? Which, like, it might already be in paperback, but it's in an awful green sprayed edge. Anywho. Next we have Half City by Kate Golden. This book I did technically start back in, like, I don't know, March maybe? And I have to soft DNF'd it because of the fact that I anticipated being 5 stars. I didn't want to force this book when it wasn't the right time. You know what I mean? Like, right book, wrong time? Not over here. It's going to be right book, right time. This book has been described as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but, like, in a book. but like with slight tweaks, obviously. Which, if you have not somehow figured this out yet, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is my all-time favorite TV show. Like, all-time favorite TV show. And so I fear that I need to give this book the attention it deserves. And when I started it a couple months ago, it was just not the right time. Because, like I mentioned, one thing about me is I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Another thing about me, I love A Dark Academia. And you're telling me that this girl is a demon hunter who goes to demon hunter school? Hello? This book might have been written for me, okay? And because of that, I do anticipate it being a 5 stars. It's just like I said. I gotta wait till I'm in the right mood because I want to give this the best shot possible, because if it was written for me, I need to give it the time that it deserves. Yeah, from what I know, I pretty much already told you everything you need to know. Demon hunter school. But she's also at the school to solve a mystery. But also, the man who recruits her to go to the school is a demon. Which is crazy because he's one of the professors at the school where they teach you how to hunt demons. And the second one comes out super soon, like in either September or October? Yeah. This might be something I pick up ASAP. And then last but not least, this is technically my current read, that is Starside by Alex Astor. I am about 80 pages in and I'm already getting those 5-star feelings. This is basically about a world split in two. One side has like this magic and these fae, from what I understand, and like it's just kind of like awesome. And then the other side, where our FMC is from, not magic. And humans. And less good things. But every like 50 years or so, the like, you know, seal separating the two worlds just like poof, gone, dissolves. It's done. And you can run through and you can hunt some of that magic. And that is exactly what our FMC is currently working towards, is being one of the humans that is allowed over to the fae side to hunt the magic, to bring it back. It is so good. The way Alex Astor writes is just like truly addicting. I love the romance that's happening, and it's not even happening. Like, so far, nothing is happening. And yet I'm still like, give it to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so good. It is so good. Another detail that you should probably know. In this book, there are different metals, and each metal has a different power. So like, don't quote me on this because I'm not very knowledgeable about my metals, but it could go like aluminum, iron, gold, platinum. I don't know. Anywho, it's like a hierarchy. So if you have a sword that's like the bottom, you could hit something and your sword's just gonna like explode. And somehow, the girl has the strongest metal in like the whole freaking universe. That's not a spoiler, by the way. That happens on like page 3. But yeah, it's just so good. If I finish this book and it is not a 5-star, my flabber will be gasted, okay? Because, yeah, like I said, I'm just having such a good time reading it right now that I can't see a world in which it is just not a perfect 5 out of 5. And again, the second book for this comes out ASAP, like October-ish, maybe? I'm so excited. But, anywho, this is probably what I'll finish next. The soonest, I should say. So, of this list, if you're curious about any of them, this one should have answers the soonest. But anywho, those are my 5-star predictions. Let me know down in the comments below if there are any of these books you would like to see me feature in a reading vlog, or just talk about in depth, maybe in like a, you know, end of month recap or whatever it may be. Also, I always have my Goodreads linked down in the description, so if you want to get, you know, live on like boots on the ground investigation updates of how I'm feeling about reading each of these books, be sure to give me a follow over there. Let's be friends, let's chat. I would love to hear from you. But anywho, without further ado, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.